Mariah, I'll let you just live your life. I'll let you continue the conversation saying something else.
I'm gonna look at everybody and decide who lies the most.
Yeah, I'll let you be a liar.
lies most in this room?
No, let me get to it. Okay.
Oh, technically, based off of our charts, you lie the most.
Can I get to my point, or y'all don't need to hear my points?
Yeah,
then
you can get to your point. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm ready.
You listening, Kinsey?
I'm listening.
Yeah.
All right. So emotionally, when it comes to things that we already know about each other, like flat out just informational, not like things going on in your life, just like about who you are. Mariah has the most secrets. When it comes to like,
there's a difference between secrets and lying.
Secrets are lying.
I think no. I think that I can have a secret if you ask me about the secret and I lie to you. That is lying. If I have a secret,
you would
and
not
don't-
lie to protect your secrets.
I didn't say that.
But you.
But I'm saying there's a
would.
difference between you saying Mariah has secrets versus Mariah is lying.
But we can say that Mariah has lied about her secrets.
Okay.
I guess we'll never know.
And then what else were you saying, Kaylin? Were you trying to
I
make
think
it around the room or something?
I think I white lied the most for convenience, especially.
You get caught in them.
Hmm?
You get caught in them.
It depends. Like sometimes I could be a really bad liar. Like when it comes to work, I have to have like basically a whole Death Note style plan laid out, like every backup in case that person asks a question, a whole tree of it, or else I cannot lie.
Well, that's what's funny is that you lie a lot. You do a lot of white lies, but you obviously don't think about every white lie all the way through. And when you say them, Kaylin, this is you go.
It's like she got caught in the worst lie in the world, and it's like the dumbest
she
lie.
says it, and it's like I could see it all on your face that you're lying.
I would say
You're
when
waiting
it's
to
not
be
important
condemned.
people, I lie quite a bit, like a lot, like especially if I'm trying to get out of like something, like talking to someone, you know, trying to sell me something. I'll lie and say anything.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Anything, like I could just say no, thank you, and it's just like the most outlandish lies, like, you know, sorry, my dog has 3 legs, and like I've had a really bad day today, like, you know, he got hit by a car.
It's because they're all NPCs. You might as well make it fun.
Exactly. Oh my god, it's like screwing with the NPCs in a
Yeah.
video game when you screw those people. Kinsey, what does she lie
Kinsey's
the most
not
about, and what
necessarily
aspect
like
of her
a
life?
regular liar, but she's a time and place of telling you the truth.
She does. And you know, I thought I did that worse than she did, but no, she does it worse.
Yeah, so it's not
What are you
like it's
talking
not
about?
necessarily like I don't want to call it intentionally lying, but you're like, maybe I don't need to share this information at this exact moment.
Mhm.
I'll share it later.
Give me an example.
Girl, you've been doing that to
Literally
me, like,
anything.
Make an
stay doing
assessment.
that.
It's like it's almost like I can call you and be like, "How's your day today?" But if you don't feel like talking about your day, you'll just be like, "It was fine," and then 2 days later, you'll be like, "You know, 2 days ago it was absolute shit."
Yeah.
That's a very vague description of it, but it is something like that.
I'd say some pretty big
I would
things
say
have
it's
happened.
very much intentional. I'm like, this probably won't benefit me right now.
Yeah.
I should wait till
You
later.
also
Which is fine.
you
'cause
lie
I
to
also do
anyone
that.
that's not important to you. Like it's
What'd you say?
you lie to anyone that's not important to you. It doesn't have to be stranger level, but if you consider them a friend or enough family that, like, you know, you care about them and you think you have a good relationship with them, you won't really lie to them. But if it's somebody you don't care about and they're even close in your immediate family, you'll lie. You don't have an issue.
Yeah,
I think you guys
feel
just
no
think I lie a
remorse.
lot because I have boundaries where I'm like, I don't want to share my feelings right now. But I wouldn't say it's lying.
Kinsey, boundaries
But
are. Let me explain what boundaries are.
But let me tell you, I enjoy lying culture 100%. It is funny.
But you lie a lot.
It is hilarious to lie to people. But like, I would not say that I lie often to you guys.
Yeah, well, I'm
Unless
saying
it's
in
something I
general.
just don't want to share at this exact moment live.
I'm
I
saying
think
in
what's
general,
fun in lying
I'm not
culture.
saying in
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
specifics
That's why I
right
say I
now.
support lying culture. I think it's fucking hilarious. I will gaslight and lie to anyone, and it's funny.
I think
But
that
I will not lie to you guys unless there's a perfectly good reason for why I'm lying. And 9 times out of 10, it's because I don't want to address it at this exact moment.
when it's not important,
Internally, not
like,
externally. Internally.
like if it's not your boss and if it's not your close friends and you're not afraid to get in trouble with the lies, it is so fun to plant seeds and watch like where it goes. And
Sometimes I'm prepared for like to get in trouble. When I lie to and then I'm like, I could totally get in trouble with this, and I'm prepared.
And is the stakes enough for me to be okay if I got in trouble? Yeah.
Sometimes I'm prepared with another lie on top of that lie in case I get caught. Like I'm steps ahead of those bitches.
I was
That's
not
why
gonna name
when
drop in
you
the
tell-
pre-banter, by the way.
It's okay. We haven't even synced anything, so who knows if all this will make into it. I just like to talk before.
You
so
know what'd
we're
be hilarious
comfortable.
is if you bleep them on purpose.
Yeah, bleep them.
No, I have been.
I don't want some boss to pay for our Patreon and then get us in trouble.
I think the only names that we've talked about is Justin, and I'm keeping that in.
oh yeah, keep.
I just like back to me lying. When you lie, you need this whole elaborate story and
You need
setup
every
and
fucking.
characters and
You're
scene.
like, what's Ripley doing?
You're like,
when I'm
I
creating
was
this
late
lie?
because my mom and my dog and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I was late, had something come up. That way, I'm prepared to lie on the fly.
Yeah, and
I
then
can't lie on the
that-
fly. I'm
Caitlin,
so
I
bad at
know,
that.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
You have to prepare to lie on the fly, but you have to learn how to because it covers your ass better and more efficiently. You make a whole elaborate story, you have to stick with that story.
thing is-
Every time a question's asked, you have to make sure you are
Yeah,
sticking to
and
that
you know,
exact
in your story, you
Exactly,
could be like,
exactly.
Ripley was in my room, and then you start telling more of your story, and you're like, because she was originally in the kitchen, and I'll be like, I thought she was in your room.
Here's my thing. With
Like
recent,
that's what happens.
with recent events of lying, it's kind of like riding a bike. Like, you just got to learn how to do it. And these were not scenarios where I wanted to learn on the fly. So I was like, you know what? If I'm not good at flying on the fly, we got to write like the world, the story that I'm in, the setting.
Honestly, girl, I'm gonna tell you,
Maybe you just do a little. Maybe you learn how to
fuck
dial it down
yourself
a little
over
bit.
a lot
Yeah.
more by making an entire world
Because
story.
also now we have to be on the lie. When Regina goes, "Oh, Caitlin wasn't feeling good today," I have to remember which I probably will, but I have to remember everything you told me to repeat your lie.
That's
And
another
that's so
fear of mine
hard.
is like when things don't line up. That's
Well, that's why you keep it simple
That's
and
why you
vague.
keep it
Hey,
simple.
Mylan, I'm calling off today. I've been throwing up all night.
But then what if you say something and then because we didn't touch base, I say something different, and now they
But
don't
that's
line
the
up.
same thing. If she doesn't know your entire elaborate story right
Yeah.
away, the same thing can happen.
But if I
with
keep
that.
it vague, I can double down and back it up and change it up all I want because I haven't gave you. If I go, hey Regina, I couldn't come to work today because I threw up, and you're like, oh, Mariah was feeling fine. I'll be like, yeah, actually, I threw up after Caitlin left, and I forgot to tell her. But like, I can double down. But if I go, I was throwing up at 3 p.m. Caitlin was at my house, blah blah blah, and then she asks you, and you're like, oh yeah, she was. But that little Mariah's lying. You see how like I can double back.
Yeah.
I can change the story in my head all I want, but once you verbally say it to other people, you can't change it.
You know what's so funny is that we're talking about this when we're gonna literally be talking about death.
I was
Note, and
actually
all
gonna
that
mention
bitch
that.
is doing is lying. In
Yeah,
that whole
I was like,
fucking
it's so
show.
funny our pre-banters about lying when we're about to discuss like two people lying face to face. Like, it's so funny.
You're listening to Post Credit Depression, where we talk about our current hyperfixation this week. My name's Kinsey. Shut the fuck up, Mariah. Don't laugh at me. And my fun fact for this week is that Kayla might be the crochet queen, but I'm her crochet squire, and I will take that seat one day.
Yeah, we'll make lots of ducks together.
No, I'm taking the seat.
Okay.
You will be beneath me.
All right. My fun. Wait, I'm Kaylin, and my fun fact this week is my favorite evolution Pokemon is Sylveon.
Good one. Very
I'm
good.
Mariah, and my fun fact is I have 15 piercings.
What a
Where are
boring
they?
fact.
I just felt like sharing something interesting about me.
Why
Because
can I
how
only
many do
see
you have?
5 on your face? Where's the
1,
rest?
2,
On my face.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8.
I'm in your
Wow.
head area, including your ears.
Because 3 of them currently don't have jewelry in them.
That doesn't mean my
No, I'm making a
ears
joke.
aren't pierced.
No, but she asked me how come she can only see 5.
I'm implying that there's more beneath your neck.
Yeah, I've actually
Yeah.
got like my nipples, the belly, my toe. I
Toe?
got a little piece of my love handle pierced.
You got the back of your head
Yeah, I got
pierced too.
got some dermal piercings in my back. You know,
So
nah, I
funny
keep
we're
it. I keep
talking
it
about
above the
lying
neck.
already.
I got most of it in my ear, only one in my nose, but more to come soon.
Where?
Oh, I want to get one more because I look like that hot anime dude with 3 piercings on my ear. You already know that, and I want to get another nose piercing. I think I saw this girl with a really nice chain today at work, and I was like, I kind of want that, but I don't want a piercing on my other side of my nose. I think I'd look goofy with the one in one,
I agree.
but the chain looks so nice.
You could eyelash glue it on.
It's not the same. I'd want it to sit there comfortably, and I would want it to be there permanently. Also, I'm like actually terrified of things in my nose because when I had my nose pierced before, I remember I ripped my uniform off once because I was pissed at a track meet, and my nose piercing, it was when it was a stud, ripped the fuck out. Hurt like a
One
bitch.
time when I was a kid, I went into the kitchen. I was like maybe 9, and you know those stoppers on the cabinet doors, the rubber ones?
Yeah, I used
on
to
the
peel all
corners?
of them off.
I peeled it off, and I thought, I bet this could fit my nose, and I put
Why
it
do
in my
kids do
nose,
that?
and it went so far up my nose I couldn't get
Wait,
it,
I think I shoved under my nose
and I
once.
had to be brought to the ER, and they had to pull it out of my nose.
Kinsey.
Why do kids do
It
that?
was
They're
so
like,
bad.
They sit there, they think, I bet this could.
Those are all there so
I
that
was
the
like,
cabinet wouldn't
I
like be
just
really
want to
loud.
see. I was like, I'll put it only up a little bit, and then I'll take it
You couldn't
out.
go.
Well, obviously, shut the fuck up, Mariah. Obviously, I couldn't fit my finger around it to push it out, so I just kept pushing it up further.
Oh my god!
Because you're a dumb kid, and instead of grabbing it, you're like trying to pick it out like a booger.
Those thingies are there so when you close the cabinet, they're not loud. I peeled every single one off, and when I found out about them, I was like, oh, I was like, one day my grandma found out I was peeling them off. So like secretly I would go to like the other cabinets that I like would never go to, and I would just like slowly peel them off.
Oh my god, you're like,
I
I
don't
gotta
know what
commit.
it was.
At this
There was
point.
something about the satisfaction of peeling all those little octagons off of them.
I don't think I
That's
ever did
hilarious.
anything like weird to my nose like that, but someone said that my nose looked like Baby Mario's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to tell a nose story too.
yeah, I could see it.
I like it. Makes
It's all good.
sense.
So yeah, when I get my nose pierced, I'll bring Kaylin with me so she can get another helix piercing.
I like my baby. Maybe I'll just keep this one.
Never mind,
So-
Kaylin's boring. You can come with me and get another piercing one day.
Caitlin's boy. Reminds me of Wolf.
Caitlin.
He's only got like one earring. Maybe he has two. I don't know.
I don't know.
Kaylin, what are you sharing with us this week?
That was such an interesting transition.
I thought it was funny.
Kaylin, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
This week, I introduced our first anime to the podcast, Death Note. I'd consider it a classic at this point. It's kind of, I guess you could say it's considered old now, even though I would
Oh my
personally
God.
consider old anime to be more of like Sailor Moon, Trigun era, and even older than that, like Dragon Ball Z. But
Evangelion.
Like that
It-
shit Casey watches.
yeah, I need to see what year. I need to see what year it was made. It's definitely sometime in the 2000s.
No,
no.
get the fuck. I see you trying to leech at stuff. Launch.
Leech.
Launch at things. you shouldn't touch.
2006.
He's sitting on
Do you
your
have
lap.
something? to
Wow,
say?
wait, we were
Childish
little
stuff.
kids in 2006. It's older than I thought it was. I thought it was like a 2010s anime. It's not. It's like
2006.
2000s. Yeah.
Oh, I totally thought it was early 2000s.
2006. That's the same test when High School Musical came out.
Fun fact.
I could be lying. Just sounds familiar.
That's also when the Nintendo Wii was released, as well as The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess.
You mean when times were simpler?
That's also when Kinsey was born.
When? When was I born?
2006.
Shut up!
We're keeping the lying going on
The
throughout
child, the child of the podcast. It's okay.
I was not born in 2006.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
not born 2006. We would not be friends with her.
Mhm. It was a crazy, time this week. So only got through 8 episodes. Kinsey got sick, then I got sick, and
Yeah, for those who are keeping tabs, we actually you can't tell, you don't know because we've
Hmm.
been posting consistently. We took 2 weeks off.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
So if you listen closely to the podcast, you would have an idea of what time it is because we talked about Halloween, we talked about events. So if you listen closely, you would know.
all of a sudden Thanksgiving just
Yeah.
happened.
I'm serious. If you were an avid listener, you would realize that we went straight from Halloween to Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We did, and it's because I got sick one weekend, and I thought I totally must have had COVID, but I didn't have a test with me. And then the next weekend, Kaylin was all of a sudden sick, so I couldn't come
No
over
correlation.
for the weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
she
hadn't
lived
seen
far
her
enough
at
away
all.
that like
So
I had
now,
something else.
we're at the third weekend where I am finally back.
And I'm,
Yep.
I'm knock on wood, going strong.
She said, even if we're sick, hey guys, welcome to post-credit depression.
Yeah. Smoker cough.
So we only got through 8 episodes, which I'm not pressed about it, but we kind of only covered like a bit of the beginning setting.
I would
We
have
haven't-
watched more if it
We
wasn't for
haven't seen
school.
any real head-on stuff with the main protagonists and antagonists. So far, thoughts?
We are 8 episodes into this bitch, and apparently there are 37 episodes this
Mhm.
entire show. What the fuck else are they gonna fucking do? Because we're at the point where Elle is like really fucking close, in my opinion, to
And you're like, they're
finding out-
stupid if they don't.
to finding out Light's identity. And it's like, obviously he just killed homegirl Naomi, so it's sad because they probably would have gotten him a little sooner if she was still alive. But the only way I could see Elle not getting him now very soon is because the cop's gonna be like, his father. It's gonna
I
be
was
like,
honestly shocked at how dumb she was about that.
nah, she was so smart.
No, but she
She
slipped
was
up
pretty
on a
lit.
dime.
Listen, something I really like
I
about
think I was
Death
just
Note,
upset that she was so smart and then just slipped
because
up
we
like
all
that.
know I love
Oh,
my
yeah.
Jesus, devil, angel themes.
I think about death a lot.
I think about death a lot. Is that the devil or Satan or whatever is supposed to be known as this very beautiful. When I was a child, my Christian mother would tell me this shit all the time. The devil will not come to you as a horned demon. He's going to come to you as the most beautiful thing you've
Mhm.
ever seen in the world. Or he's going to be really charming. He's going to be very trustworthy.
Mhm.
And I was like the beginning of the opener, how we see like those images of him looking like an angel and touching God with his little hand and all that shit. But like the way he was talking to her, and like he was trying so hard for her to trust him, and he was being as sweet as he quote unquote could. And like I don't blame that bitch. Like she had her cautions up for a long time. She's doing really well.
I think flattery
when
pushed her over the edge. He's like,
when
"Come
he
work for
started,
us."
I mean, and she was with a husband who wanted her to be barefoot and pregnant. All right, he was like, "I don't want you to be an FBI agent anymore. Like, that shit's over for you, and you were an okay one, but you're not that good. So
I think
sit
he
down."
said that she was good. He was like, I understand that you were really good.
Yeah, but he doesn't think she's good enough to
He's
keep
like,
continuing. He still views her as a
Promise
woman.
You'd be a stay-at-home wifey.
Yeah.
Get
So
in my
like,
work.
I think she was in a
Something like
position
that.
where that flattery makes sense why she was won over by him, because she wanted to be recognized. Understandably, I don't think she really was dumb. I think she got tricked and charmed in a very
Also,
intense
spoiler alert for the first 8 episodes.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I've not watched it consistently. Like you've at least seen the ending. You've seen the whole show. I've seen bits and parts. I'm pretty sure like someone I was talking to was watching it, so I've seen like episodes here and there. Never really paid attention. I saw the Americanized Netflix movie, and that was about it. But I had a good concept of obviously what Death Note was about before I actually watched it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I told Kaylin. I thought I had seen the first 15 episodes consecutively, but I actually think that I saw 15 random episodes because when we watched the episode with Naomi walking to the police station, I've seen that whole episode before, and I've seen like the first 2 before, so I think they're actually spread out, the ones that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset because like I'm hearing a lot of your guys' like questions and thoughts, and like literally right around the corner, which is I feel like another arc to the story, and that's why like I'm upset because the 8 episodes. Oh, you just.
I'm on the wall.
Oh. The 8 episodes went by so fast, but at the same time, like we, are humans. We're like sick and shit. Like we couldn't watch like a crap ton, but like there's gonna be a lot more to talk about over the next, I'm gonna guess 8 more episodes.
So why'd you make us watch a show and not the Americanized Netflix film?
With the perfect casting of Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, which I mean that non-sarcastically, but
yeah, and
they really wasted that potential.
The brother
with the
from that
quality.
Nickelodeon from the Naked Brother band is in it. Why are we not? You probably don't even know what that is.
I know what that is.
I would be down
Kaylin
for
doesn't.
like watching it, but I just
No
refuse
comment.
to watch it at this point. When I saw clips of it,
Yeah,
and it's just like
it's not
it
good.
doesn't feel reflective of it. Like if you just want to see the story, go watch it.
Do you know what the Naked Brother band is?
No.
Okay.
I've seen the Naked Brother band. Wasn't it like a kind of a parody on the Jonas Brothers?
I think so, but there's just the 2 brothers.
I know, but I feel
Yeah,
like they got their
I'm pretty
inspiration
sure.
from the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, the one brother from
So-
it is in the movie.
Yeah. Let's talk about like the actual content that we did
Oh, okay.
watch.
I sorry.
Sorry. I've been holding on to this thought like
That's fine.
a conversation starter. What are you about to say?
You just said to start talking about the content, so I was gonna say something.
Oh, I was gonna say like to have a conversation starter about what we had actually watched. How did you feel about like I remember Kinsey right before Elle came onto the screen. She's like, "What can they do? He's got this book. Like, how are people gonna even like find him?" And then this really worthy opponent comes out of nowhere. Like, how did you feel about Elle confronting Light?
Obviously, Elle had some concept of the Death Note, whether he has one of his own, which is if that's not true, I like to think that is true. In my head, I was like, that'd be genius if he did. But obviously, he has some concept of it to know everything.
I don't think so.
That's
I
fine.
think-
That's just my personal opinion of what I'm watching. My
No, I want to hear
theory
this.
is
what are your
that just
thoughts?
I wanted to finish.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna listen to the rest of yours.
That I'd like to think that he'd have his own version, but I think he just has a lot of knowledge of the Death Note because he consistently is putting pieces together so easily. Like he knows, like immediately he was like, well, obviously he's not there killing them. He has some other way that he's be killing them, and I'm like, well, why would you assume that so quickly? But also, he could just be a genius. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that because I don't think he knows anything about the Death Note. I think, as I've been watching, the questions he asks and the order in which he asks them just seems like he's gradually finding out information. I think it's quite clear in the episode that you don't see the guy get stabbed, shot, anything. All these people, after like having autopsies and stuff, are being shown that they've had heart attacks. So there's no way that he's coming up to these people to kill them anyways. So it's like, I feel like the way and in which order, too, that Elle is asking these questions and figuring out these answers are just because he's a really smart guy, good investigator.
you know the ending.
I do know the ending.
So are you talking right now? It's not speaking because you know the truth.
No, I'm based
Well,
off
actually,
episodes
I was
right now.
wondering.
Right off.
Watching her watch it, I can tell there's a lot that she didn't remember as we were going through.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I was
'cause-
just being
so-
precaution. I was like, I don't want you to like, because my wheels will start turning if you speak, and
Yeah,
if you were
no.
speaking upon the end, my brain will start connecting different parts as I'm watching it. So I just want to make sure.
No, I think
Yeah.
that even with me finishing this show, there are a lot of strong points to think about that. Like, sure, you're like, how can he figure it out so fast when other people couldn't? But I mean, I could see where you're like, okay, this is. You had people in the same embassy.
Mhm.
Some people were like, it's just coincidence. Like, people are just dying of heart attacks. And other people are like, this is clearly murder. Like,
Mhm.
it's criminals. They're all dying of sudden heart attacks, like, at similar times. Like, how can this not be murder?
I mean, even
So
if it's not
the
knowledge of
question
the
is,
death
like-
note, obviously when my brain is not working today, I keep stuttering. When Light found the death note and he saw the fucking demon guy, I can't remember how to pronounce it, but he was like, "Oh, I've heard stories about you. Like, I've heard the theories, the like conspiracy theories, the mysteries of you." So like, obviously that I'm sure he's not the only person that's ever heard the story about the what's it called?
Well, it's weird because Light
What's
is
it called?
like
Shinigami?
Shinigami.
Yeah,
It's weird because Light is considered the top student in
Yeah.
Japan. So it's like, I don't know if it could be just anybody knows this stuff. If he's the top student, he probably reads a lot. He probably finds out random ass information just because he wants to.
yeah.
Well, then,
Because if this is known information or if it's something that people are going to, a group of people would know in
I
general.
think it's known, but also
then
like
how
a
come
conspiracy.
L doesn't know when he reads the note
Yes.
that says God of Death?
he said,
Right?
Yeah, you're
could-
right.
He
Because
said,
if
could
L's
God
a
of
smart
Death-
ass bitch that we can tell, then why has he not even thought to think?
Maybe it's
Let me
almost
go
like
read
he's
some
not even
text.
thinking about it. It's like you coming up to me and being like talking about like Greek god, and I'm like, well, yeah, move on.
Well, I'm just basing it off of what you said. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he says he's read about these people and that he's known about them or like their stories. So it's like there's got to be access to these stories of these gods of death.
Yeah.
If,
Lights
if,
are
Well,
if
yeah, I
it's
think
gonna
I'm
be
just
something
picturing
that's
them in the
well
sense of
known.
like almost a mythical thing. Like if people are like, well, Greek gods are mythical, so that can't be the reason.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying though. Is that like I'm like if that's known, then
Yeah.
how come L didn't think of that when he read that line? Because
I
I'm
got you.
sure the bitch
I
probably
forgot about
is
that.
well known.
I forgot about that note.
Mm-hmm.
because the Light top student in Japan, L top detective in the world.
Yeah,
so it's
so
like
he's probably smarter.
He's probably heard of the stories too, and then like when he reads it, he's like, well,
How could
how
that
can a
connect?
bitch? Well, he's also like, it's not impossible for them to exist when the impossible is being done.
Yeah.
With someone killing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
he
right. You're
did
right. You're right.
mention that.
Caitlin earlier, Caitlin was like, I don't think you don't like L. I think you think he's autistic and you don't like autistic people.
She said it to you?
She said that to me. I said something about the way this man sits down, toes out, and then he picks up stuff and he's like,
No, this is what she said. She said, I used to be attracted to L and his mysteriousness, but now that I'm watching him, his toes and all
it's the
this shit,
toes.
I was
It's the
like,
way he sits like a crow on the couch.
I was like, at this point, you're just ableist because like
What
I
I-
still think he's hot.
What I think is cool is that I felt like L, I don't know if I'm like a crazy bitch, but when he was asking the specific questions that he was like, somebody who thinks this way, this black and white about killing
Mhm.
criminals comes from a very young, immature mind. Like that's exactly what I thought about Light's general, disposition to killing these criminals. So I was like, I don't even think that's too far fetched of an idea or a too like intelligent, crazy genius idea. I think L is really good at stringing his thoughts together and coming up with solutions
Yes.
because of it. And these other people are not as good at stringing their thoughts together.
Yeah. I am so glad that you brought that up. That was a topic I knew for sure I wanted to cover about like morality and where it's standing and Light's character. Because I feel like when I first watched the show, the very first episode, first time, when you see him killing these hardcore criminals and you just hear his idea
I feel like
of,
he's onto something.
a better society where there's not like rape and murder and crime, you're kind of like, okay, like murder's bad and like,
But at least you're using it wisely.
but then it bleeds into the debate that goes on in real life of is it even ethical to kill criminals?
Would you like me to answer that?
With maximum what's it called?
Oh, people with maximum life sentences?
No,
They're already dead.
Death penalty. I'll just call it death.
Oh, death penalty. Yeah, they're already dead.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you my opinion on that shit?
No, I'm saying it bleeds into the real life argument about it. Whether like
Oh
should
yeah,
other
no.
humans
I'm
have
not
the
a
power to
supporter of the
execute
of the death penalty. Yes,
That's
no,
what
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
supporter of the death penalty.
So it's like.
Do you know how many people are falsely accusing?
No.
the death sentence?
Can I say my
Well,
opinion?
yeah,
Yes.
I'll give it to you, but I'm not done with posing it because here we have a fictional character that basically has control of that, and he's the sole judge, juror, and executioner. And so that's where we're like,
Yeah, where's the 3 branches of the government?
So, hear me out. I'm about to say something.
And like that's
I'm about to say something that y'all won't agree with, but then at the end you'll probably be like, "Oh, okay, I get it, whatever." So I don't agree with the fact that light has the power to do all of it. And in general, even if there was branches to be able to equal out the power, right? I still wouldn't agree with the death penalty because people still slip through the cracks, right? Very sad. But I do agree with harsh ass consequences.
Yeah. I think lessons being learned.
No, I believe in rapists being castrated. I believe in people who like murder other people and are found guilty, killed. Like I do. But it's like the killing part, once you go past like taking somebody's life, it's like that's where things can get a little, iffy because who's the one with the sword? Who's the one killing people?
At the end of the day, we don't live in a perfect world, so like there's no way for you to like
so now then
fully
we need to
tell
ask
me,
ourselves,
yes, this man is 100% guilty. He's the murderer. Kill him.
Yeah, so now we need to ask ourselves like what matters more? Innocent people who can get hurt, raped, killed, etc., or the criminals that could, get past judgment on it, but maybe some of them slip through the cracks. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, at this point, just give them the life sentence. I mean, I'm not saying that it's basically the same equivalent. Because I've seen so many people like, I've heard so many stories about death penalty, especially like
that's why in the
black
real
and brown
world,
people.
Yeah,
getting
that's why
accused.
in the real world, I don't really think it works because there are people who,
or even
target
Salem
groups
witch
of
trial
people or
times.
innocent people die. But I think life sentences should be more often, especially for the people who do those crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people should be castrated if they rape people.
Yeah, and I think our judicial system just needs to be reevaluated. Also, maybe there's some system of like let's look at their case. I know that recently they've been doing that with like kids that were trialed to life at under 18. They were like re-looking at their cases because there was a new law that went through, and they were like, let's reevaluate their case and how long they're in jail. And they've been times where they found out these kids are actually not guilty, or they actually shouldn't have gotten life for prison for what they did wrong.
That's so sad.
And I think that needs to be more of a regular thing.
And that's where like the show has a very powerful message. Is Elle and Light, they are both geniuses in different ways, and they both have different senses of justice. And
I was on that Light train. I was like, yes, Light, kill those murderers. But then he was like, I'm killing innocent people. I was like, whoa, wait, what happened to you saying I want to make a perfect world to you are now the god of this world?
The god complex comes out.
And it's all about who defies him.
Evil.
Yeah, it's like he's like, you should just trust that I should be able to choose who dies, and the fact that you are questioning it means you will die. Yeah. And that's crazy.
Just like Mariah brought up with like how there were so many false, kids with life sentences and false executions of innocent people. Like even in the real life world, I'm like, that is so much power for one human to decide the fate of another human on whether they should die, And in the show, like Light takes it upon himself. He's like, I will be that god. Like I will do that. And Elle is just like, you're a murderer. At the end of the day, you're just a criminal.
I want to ask the question of why do you guys think that Light deals with this death note the way that he does? Why is it this 17-year-old child who's chose to go to these lengths in comparison to other people who have had the death note before? Like it doesn't look like he's come from too bad of a family. It doesn't look like he's got that much trauma. So why is he fucking like this?
Because he's autistic is what I'm kidding.
Guys, we're autistic. Just heads up.
I'll cut that. I think that maybe he thinks he sees himself already as this like not God figure yet, but he sees himself as like, I am the ultimate human. I'm very smart. I'm a genius. I'm the top in the class. I am the one who can make the correct decisions.
Do you think he developed this like narcissistic behavior?
Yeah, I think he did. I mean, his parents talk about how smart he is.
I'm not talking
They're
about when he
so
got
proud
the
of
death note.
him. I think that his whole life he's developed this narcissism. Like I'm a genius. I'm the best person. I'm the best option.
Oh yeah, I think
before even getting the death note. So then when he came across the death note, first of all, he did not even hesitate. He immediately was like, let me test it out, write a name, see if it works. And then he was like, I like that. Let me do this again. And it's like, I bet you this man was sitting in bed after he first read about the fucking death note, fantasizing about what the fuck he would do to make the world a better place. He was like in bed one night and was like, damn, I just read about this fucking demon in the death note. And I bet you if I had that death note, I could do this, this, and this. That man, he's already a genius. Like his head is probably turning all the time.
I think he
was
Aquarius.
Already like that. In the first episode, he was already doing that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It gives me school shooter vibes because he was saying that the world was rotten. No, I'm saying that like he's some emo bitch that's like, God, this world,
He also views himself so purely. Like, he is not an example of this rotten world.
He does no wrong. He's
I
the
love
perfect human.
Ryuk's line when he goes, First Light claims that he's going to kill every criminal in the world, and
He's
Ryuk
like,
was like,
"Aren't you
you'll
a
be the
murderer?"
last bad person in the
Yeah.
world then. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, and I just
He's like, you're killing murderers, but you're literally murdering.
Also, you know what else I want to ask? Why okay, if the fucking Shinigami, or was that, wait, what are they called? What are they called?
Shinigami.
Shinigami. I forgot the
Whose phone is vibrated?
the aw.
It's the weather.
Shinigami. The fact that their world is like deteriorating and they're falling apart, whatever the fuck, which sounds sad as fuck. Why doesn't Ryuk go out of his way to maybe make the world a better place for the humans when he can do it probably without a conscience?
I think
you
he
know what I'm
said
saying?
that
Like,
he was like learning. He's like, I'd like to drop my shit off in the human world so I can learn about the
so
human
it
world.
seems like maybe he doesn't have the emotional depths that humans do,
Yeah.
and he's currently learning
Yeah.
through Light's, mistakes or what he's doing. He's like, I love apples.
I think he
maybe
kind
I
of
should care about
explains that.
people.
Yeah, he's like, I am
Maybe
kind
he's
of studying.
Ryuk.
I mean, yeah, his only purpose is to get the fucking book back so he can keep living, because in order for him to continue to live, he has to write names in the death book.
He has 2.
He does have 2.
And he did it because it's entertaining.
Yeah, and he did say at one point that he's trying to learn from the human world. He said that.
Yeah, but
He
I
did it on
think
purpose. He
I
dropped
think
it
his
on
purpose.
main focus on why he does it though is
It's
for
for
selfish.
entertainment.
He's always like, I just want to have fun.
Humans are
He's
so
like, I like to watch them
interesting.
suffer.
Because I mean, if you're living in that place with all his buddies, that looks boring as
So
hell.
do I get to figure out where the other Death Note is in the show?
I'm
He
sure he
has
just
it.
has it on him.
He has it on him.
Oh, I thought he said he dropped both of them.
No,
No, he's got his other one on him.
So is Homeboy writing
He-
names in the Death Note simultaneously?
he told his
maybe he
homies.
already has like 100 years written down, and he's like, I'm good for this, like,
yeah.
week.
He told his homies back
Yeah.
wherever the fuck he lives that he lost both of them, and then when he was in the human world, he told Light, he's like, I have one. You just have this one.
Missed that.
So he lied to his homies.
Liar.
Yeah. How do you guys think that he got a second Death Note?
He probably killed one of the demons.
Bro, wait, maybe he did. I
Maybe he
don't
wrote
know.
one of the demons in his Death Note.
And then he took his death note. Well, no, because you can't kill other Shinigamis.
Oh, then
Shinigamis.
he just stole. Or someone died some other way. There's probably some twist.
Just stole.
I
And
just
he
wanted to hear
died.
your theories.
Wait, what if he did? Sorry, yeah. I'm just
One of them
thinking-
probably died and he got the book. Maybe he ripped his book in half.
It is, oh boy.
Yeah, how come the Death Note doesn't run out of paper?
I
We
told
have been
Kinsey-
saying that
I
the
told-
whole time. Like,
I
what's
told
going
Kinsey, I
on?
was like, if I, not to say that I would, because heaven, hell, purgatory, shit like that. I'd use a mechanical pencil to erase it. Because, like, let's say I wrote someone's name in the Death
Why'd
Note,
you have to
they
specify
died,
that it was a mechanical? Why couldn't you just use a regular pencil?
because the erasers are better on a mechanical pencil. So you write lightly, don't write like super deep or pierce it. Write the name, they die, erase it.
They come
It's
back to
still-
life.
No, hear me
They
out.
resurrect out of the ground.
Hear me out.
That's what I'm saying.
If
They would
the
not come
Death
back to
Note
life.
is this magical, powerful thing that
never runs
can
out of
kill
paper.
people, I'm sure it just refills its ass
Yeah, I'm
up.
sure.
And Caitlin's like, let me use a mechanical pencil.
It's like, let me use an
'Cause
invisible pen.
It was mentioned in these
Look at Pete. Look at
episodes.
Pete.
It was mentioned in these episodes that the Death
Don't
Note
let
could
him
be
type on that, 'cause
destroyed.
that
So I
shit
still
stopped
feel like it's a
recording.
physical, tangible thing.
I don't. Well, of course, it's still physical. You can be a magical being and
Yeah,
still be
think about how
capable
many
of
shows
dying.
where people probably flip through books and it's
Bro,
like endless pages. Like
look-
they could just keep flipping.
Look at the Shinigami. He literally said, the only reason I can't die is because I've taken other people's years of life.
So maybe
the
somebody,
moment that shit runs out, that
Yeah.
man can die.
maybe one of the demons decided to
So,
not write names anymore, so they died. They went poof.
I still think that the book, although it can be destroyed, doesn't change the fact that it can be magical and have
It
Yeah.
is
you know,
one of
tons
the
of
things
pages.
I wish that
Maybe
was
each
answered in the
time
show,
someone
though,
new
'cause
finds
it's a
the book-
thin-ass book.
Each time someone new finds the book, it's blank. So if Homeboy dies and then I pick up the book, it is a blank book now because it's magical.
Well, yeah, maybe it just fucking erases
I like
itself
that
or
theory,
whatever
and
it
I
is.
don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that that doesn't happen because I just know that.
Spoiler.
What doesn't happen?
She said that doesn't happen. That and
What?
So that is a spoiler. So he's gonna lose his book at one point.
No, maybe it'll show a flashback of somebody else.
She's saying that if I have this book and I write down a bunch of names and I drop it, it doesn't erase. You pick it up and you could see everyone I killed.
Well, maybe there's just more pages.
Well, yeah, that there. I was just giving out a new
He'd
one.
be ripping them out.
I wish it
You
was
do.
definitely answered. Like I wish that they would have at least brought up like
Kid
why does
with
it run out, or if
autism.
it
Yeah.
can run out.
It's probably, but think about any like magical world. It's endless amount of paper. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, like what are they gonna do? Go to the whoever's in charge of the Shinigami and be like,
He's
"Can
like,
I
yo,
have
can I
another
get
one?"
more pages stapled in this bitch?
Dude, I got more
My
notes
homeboy back on
to
Earth
fill.
been filling that bitch out.
It's-
He been going through it.
It's a pretty dark show, and you guys just met L, so I know you guys don't know him a lot. But like, do you have a favorite character so
L.
far? Yeah, L. Okay.
My favorite character is
Scorpio.
Ryuk.
Bro, he
And
looks like Ripley following. Like, that is yours. You are light, and Ripley is just following you around with that.
Like,
it's because he doesn't blink. It's the manic eyes.
if we're talking about
just stared
the
at
actual
you.
story, obviously, I'm not gonna lie. I think Elle is my favorite because I like how smart he is. I like how logical he is. It itches a part of my Virgo moon. I just like it.
yeah.
But the person
like
I get the
Scorpios?
most entertainment from that I really just like his personality is Ryuk. And he's very
Yeah.
morally gray, which
Yeah.
I don't tend to like those characters. I tend to actually get mad at them. But he's
he's just
like
here for
he's
fun.
like I'm from a different dimension.
I
I
tend
don't
to
fucking
get
care.
upset with these like floating around, follow you side
Yeah.
like creature.
I'm gonna be honest, I
characters.
get annoyed
like
by him
Paimon
sometimes.
from Genshin can kind of
Yeah.
get on my
Oh my-
nerves.
'Cause we don't know
I would
Paimon.
like to punt Paimon across 5
we don't
football
know her
fields.
origins, so we don't know if we can trust her or if she's good.
I mean, she makes me laugh sometimes. Like she is funny, but sometimes, most of the time, she's just annoying. And I feel like you're right. Ryuk is
I don't like how he's
a
drawn.
good sense of comic release.
I love.
It's not that,
love
it's not
it,
that I don't like
how
how he's
he's
drawn.
drawn.
I don't like how his body moves.
I
he
like
doesn't
it.
blink. His face is barely. He talks like.
I don't know
I
if
was just
something's
telling
wrong with
Kinsey
me, but
when we
he
were
scares
watching
the shit out of me,
He
and I
doesn't
like
move.
it.
His body
I was
sits
telling her,
like
I was
this.
that's a good demon.
Not in a sexual way. Don't play
I think
with me.
it's funny. I just sometimes I get like mad. I don't know. Whenever characters are drawn wonky, like even like Beast Titan, I was like, I like that, but it's funny.
I think it's intentionally meant to make you uncomfortable,
Yeah,
which is
I
what
agree.
happened.
I think that's why I like it. I was like, wow. Like, out of all the Shinigami that we've seen in only like the 2 episodes where we've seen other ones, he is totally the coolest looking one.
Mhm.
Like, I'd be scared shitless if that man popped up in my room.
And like
Because
wasn't phased.
It's so easy though for, like you said, the comic relief. Like he's a great source of comic relief. It's so easy in
It's like an
movies and
eerie-
shows for them to fuck up the comic relief, and it like takes you out of the world. Whereas like he's a morally
found-
great.
I think
He
the
found
fact
every
that he is
camera.
morally great, he's very eerily like existing. It makes this evenness. Like you're like he is the comic relief, but he's also still like making you feel uncomfortable.
Also,
Yes,
I
he
love
he
how
still fits in the
mysterious
world,
he is.
exactly.
I love when he tells me more about the shit he knows about the book,
Yeah.
the shit he knows about like dimensions and shit.
Talk about
Um,
withholding information.
I like how he withholds information. I want more. I don't want him to keep holding it, but I'm just saying I'm like, wow, what do you got in there? What's in
He's
that
got my
mind?
head. He's been alive for years, thousands of years.
I wonder if anybody makes, NSF art of
NSFW.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You
NSFW.
can count on it.
I definitely am sure. Earlier you said that Light was an Aquarius, and I think he also has Virgo and
Absolutely.
Scorpio placement.
I think, okay, overall, I think he's an Aquarius sun, and I think that because every Aquarius I've run into, God complex to the nines.
Scorpio Moon, Virgo
like-
rising.
The Aquarius is known for being a water bearer, for completely, detaching from their emotions more than any other sign. Like, they don't really feel emotions. So it's like the fact that he doesn't feel remorseful, even for the people that maybe deserved to die, like, for none of them. Like, that's Aquarius, that shit. Then you got the Scorpio ass rising shit, right? Where the vengefulness, like he loves showing up to Elle and letting him know that he can be even worse than him. And then the Virgo moon, I think he just knows how to plan shit.
Yeah.
The bitch knows how to plan
That
shit.
last episode I was watching, I was like, this man.
Or
is
maybe it's a Scorpio
diabolical.
moon, Virgo rising.
I
either
think
one.
it is. I'm not saying I relate to him, but if I was to say, I pull like the worst sides of me, I think very similar like him.
Yeah, he's very logical and he's motivated by a lot
It's
of
methodically like
Yeah.
everything he does.
Which she even says that, and this is the first hint of it. They'll make several more references throughout the show, but she's like, "You remind me a lot of Elle," and they have polar opposites views of justice, but
'Cause they're both
geniuses.
autistic.
Well, maybe Elle was like kind of bad in his younger days, and maybe he just grew from it. And
I
he
think
was
so, 'cause
like,
there's a lot of times where he says like that was like, oh, I would think like this, and the dad was like, why? He was like, because I did that when I was younger.
yeah, and I'm like, so you just had some character development, and realized maybe you were toxic as fuck. And Elle is the light's still over here, like I'm a god,
Yeah.
because he's 17.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see some more of Elle's actions because I think there is some things to comment on. Like he's still, I would say, the protagonist, but it'll be interesting to comment on the things that make him human. Because
No, I
everyone's-
bet he's.
Will he
perfect.
ever have socks and shoes on?
I want
I
to
don't
know
think I remember.
if he is autistic, what autistic person would walk around in jeans with no socks?
That's a good point.
Jeans, maybe sweatpants with no
Well,
socks.
he's an
I'm
emo
like
one.
extremely comfortable in jeans. Like I know
with
that's
no
weird.
socks. You gonna sit on the
No.
couch like this with no,
No.
socks?
No. I was just I know a lot of like neurodivergent people don't like jeans, but I actually
That's
have
what I'm
always
saying.
loved jeans.
So
But
why is he
emos-
wearing jeans?
Emos
I've always
jeans.
loved jeans. Like when leggings were the biggest thing in high school, everyone's like, I wear leggings every day. I was like, I don't like leggings. Give me my blue jeans and I'm comfortable.
For me,
Maybe
it
they're
depends
his
on the
comfort
kind of
jeans.
jeans because there are comfort jeans I
Yeah.
wear that I'd wear just as much as
I
I'd
think
wear
he wears
leggings.
the simple jeans, white shirts, so he blends in. He doesn't stand out. But when those toes come out,
He like
And he wiggle his toes.
he like me with my
Remind me,
toes.
Kinsey over here rubbing her feet up on me. It's
This
okay.
feels good.
Yeah, I can't wait, you know. for
I
you
do
guys
love
to
his character. I mean, from what I remember seeing beforehand too, I was like, yeah, he's cool, and he's a Scorpio.
I
So
wanted to see Misa really badly.
I know. It's just.
who?
If
She's
Misa,
a girl on the show.
to see enough of Misa for her to even like get some good screen time, like get on the show without it just being from a distance. Misa, we would have been in an episode like I think 15 and some shit. Like, so I had to put that in part 2.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It is wild to me that there's 37. Like, I know this.
fuck they
I have
gonna
a
be
really
doing
good
for
idea.
37
Obviously, I don't know
episodes?
everything, but I have a really good idea of the whole story of Death Note. So when you told me you finished it, I was like, cool. And I went to go watch the episodes. I was like, there's 37 episodes?
you know what's crazy is there is a point in the show that I jump ships because I feel like at the
Did
time
you tell me there's a
watching-
point in the show where you support Light?
No,
Okay.
no.
I
Um,
was like, the man's probably only gets worse.
I feel like as young as I was in high school, I didn't know how to understand when stories do things that like aren't necessarily like normal ways to tell stories. Like
Gotcha.
I'm used to it being told a certain way, so I was like, I don't like this anymore, and I stopped watching it at a certain point. And then I picked it back up because I'm crocheting. I need some good English dubbed anime to get me through, and I would say that I completely changed my perspective on the entire show. And when you crochet and watch a show, it goes by so fast because I can't believe that was 37 episodes. But
I
crochet
mean,
take a long time too.
Yeah.
Definitely when you're in high school and knowing the stories I know Kaylin loves, which is Link and Zelda kind of stories. No, love you, girl. But like when I first heard about Death Note and the few episodes I watched, I'm not gonna say any spoilers right now. I'm just saying there are things that happen in the show where I was like, that's kind of rude of them. You
Yeah.
know, like I mean, what about the main character?
What about fan service?
What about fan service? What about all these good things I want to see? And I think the show is really good about making you question multiple characters on like, should you like them? Should you support them? Et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
If you support Light right now or further on, I don't know how to feel
You're
about you.
only allowed to like get with it episode 1, but the God Complex comes out pretty fast.
Yeah, you're
also
allowed to
best.
like see his perspective at the beginning. You're like, you know, you kind of got a point.
I
But
just
then when
think-
he starts getting worse
yeah.
and worse, you're like,
I just think when I was younger, I really loved always rooting for the protagonist. So as we've already seen in these few episodes, I'm like, I cannot root for you, Light. Like you are fucking insane. But a younger version of me would be sad as fuck about
Yeah.
him. Like, you know,
What's so
I'd be
weird-
like, oh, Team Light,
I
maybe.
remember the part where he was trying to get the girl's identity. I was like, he's going to murder her with his bare hands. He's not going to use a death. He's about to grab her by the
I
neck
thought he was
and
gonna do
murder
that too.
her.
He even thought about it. Like
I know, and I was bracing myself. I was like, you're gonna get your hands dirty right now.
I think that
When
watching
you
it
hadn't
from a
been
younger
killing
perspective.
anybody with your
too.
hands.
I was watching it from a younger perspective. You're used to seeing things from the protagonist's point of view in like every story. So when I'm watching, like, yeah, Ryuk, find all those cameras, but then like you watch shit like that, and you're like, I don't know how to feel about you, my guy. Like, you know what I mean? And it was something I was not used to watching. Like when I was in high school, I was not used to seeing the antagonist's point of view, and you don't even realize it quite at first until you see more sides to him and hear him talk more.
Like these ultimatums, like if you like L's, like I know that he would start going after citizens if we
I saw
don't give him the
555.
criminals.
I can't think,
You know?
I can't think of specifics, but I feel like I've watched shows like that where like you're watching it from the bad
Oh,
guy's point
I
of view.
have seen it now.
Yeah,
but
I think when I was
saw it.
younger, I never liked those shows because I'd be like, well, now I want to root for the bad guy because I know his motives and I know he cares. Or like, think about
Yeah.
Thanos. Thanos sucked, but he was doing it out of trauma. Still don't agree with the man.
You're
I'm
like,
just
but
saying,
if we get rid of half the population, we will have more resources.
like, you start to empathize with the antagonist, but
Yeah,
you know,
because they give you this crazy backstory. They give you attachment to the bad
Yes.
guy. So you're like,
so when I was younger,
ah.
I feel like if I would have watched this thoroughly, I would have had a really tough time ever seeing anything bad happen to Light. If it does,
yeah,
things like that, I'd be like, but
the logic
but
wasn't
Light's
fully
supposed to be
developed.
the main guy, you know? Prefrontal cortex was
I
not
agree.
developed.
Yeah. I cannot wait for you guys to watch some more soon, though, and I feel like we'll have a lot more topics then. I mean, I just had to ask your guys' initial thoughts.
Oh yeah, I
and
still do
what
enjoy
you
it right
think
now.
about it.
I definitely would like to watch more. So it's getting good.
You know, one thing I'll say that I think is so rude of the anime community, and I don't know how crazy it gets, so maybe they're right about this. I've seen the anime community like make jokes about how there's too many like how do I say this? Like, let's say Light does something, and then L's like, I knew you were gonna do that, and then Light's like, I'm actually 2 steps ahead of you, and then L's
I was
like,
getting
I'm actually
overwhelmed.
3 steps ahead of you. I've seen a lot of memes about that, about how apparently it's so hard to follow, or maybe it's getting annoying at that point. But so far, I've actually been really enjoying it. It has not felt overdone, but we still have like 28 episodes
Yeah,
to
that'll
go.
that'll
I
happen
don't-
repeatedly throughout the entire
I haven't been like
series.
extremely overwhelmed watching it, but there were definitely a couple times. So I was like, oh, okay, and I was like, wait, no, okay, wait, okay, we're over here again. Like I know what you mean when it
'cause you
comes
don't
to like.
know
I mean, as of
those-
right now, I've been okay with it. But
yeah,
I
that's what I'm saying. I've
know
been fine now, but I know what you mean by it can
it
be
might get
overwhelming.
worse. And
Yeah.
I've seen from memes that people are like, it's so fucking annoying. That's what like the whole plot is like they're 3 steps,
Yeah, they're
5,
trying to be ahead of
18
each
steps
other.
ahead of each other.
Which you get the purpose, but also I can get why it can be annoying.
I also loved hearing your guys' opinions. I'm very relieved we don't have any edgy kids that bring their cosplay Death Note to class and like I'd rate that bully's name. Like I'm very happy to.
That's
It's
hear what
crazy.
you
weird
guys'
because like
thoughts
I
are.
like this anime a lot, and to think that there are people out there that take not the message from the show and they take it too literally, like I should kill people in my life or
Yeah.
I want this power. Like thinking about it now as almost 24 years old, there were kids in my high school, the anime
Yeah.
nerds, that would bring a Death Note, a fake one, to school, and like I knew of the anime when I wasn't even a weeb.
Yeah.
So I was like, just looking back at that now, I'm like, yo, like
That's
I
fucked
cannot
up.
support your ass. It doesn't matter how
Yeah.
much
It's
you liked Death Note.
embarrassing.
Like that's the Death Note anime is trying to make a point about like
I hate when people watch shows, movies, and miss the whole point of it.
yeah.
I feel like you guys
It
got the
makes me
point
so
so
mad.
fast, and it makes me really happy to hear. Because even Ryuk, he's like, if you write in this Death Note, you can't go to heaven or hell, and you would be the last person.
How is he
bad
gonna
person
tell him
person.
that when he already wrote a name in it?
Yeah, I think he,
That's what I'm
should have
saying.
told him that before.
But no.
I mean, no, because he gets benefits out of it.
no. Well, I don't know if he's
He-
getting
he
the
gets the
lifespans off these
entertainment.
people.
He's getting the
Well,
life-
no, I'm saying outside of all of that, if you pick up the Death Note, you don't have to write a name in it.
Yeah.
Like I know he was just testing it out, but like,
I
still,
mean, yeah, you're right. If I was to casually pick up a Death Note, I'd be like, should I write in
yeah, I guess it's testing the morality of people and why do you have to hear your consequences before having
you're
some
right.
even
morality.
is your
You're right.
curiosity even
So-
worth risking that? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would agree. It makes sense.
Yeah, but like I enjoy hearing even Ryuk like kind of back that idea up too, because he has such a huge god complex and thinks what he's doing is right, and even Ryuk's like, you're just as
I love
bad,
when he
you're a
always
killer.
shares information after it's not like needed or like useful.
It's
like,
funny.
well, too late, but thank you.
I also think it's crazy that I have not seen Light maybe think a little harder about the fact that he's going to purgatory. Like
He's not thought about it
was,
once.
He was fucking told you're not going to heaven or hell, and you're not thinking about maybe what that'll be like. He's like, well, I'm a god right now. So.
He's like, I'm a god, I'm gonna live forever.
I'm
And
gonna live
meanwhile,
forever.
Homeboy's like, I can see when you're going to die.
Yeah, and I'm like, why has he not even started thinking about that? Maybe if he will in these next couple episodes, maybe it'll hit him a little harder. But I
Does
don't
his
know.
dad
I
die?
feel like that's something I would think of.
Does he kill his dad?
This is like no. This is some soft ground we're walking by. Like
I want to know. Does he kill his dad? Yes or no? Don't tell me if he dies, but does he directly kill his dad?
no, he doesn't.
Okay. I wanted to know how far he was gonna go. Obviously, I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
watching.
we're
so,
like, if this man is
but
gonna
his dad
be
is
like this-
potentially onto him. So I
I
wanted
will
to know.
say he gets that morally fucked up. Like if that's a yes. Like to the point that he'd be willing to.
Yeah.
He does not get in the situation, I don't think, where he necessarily has to or not. But it
But you're telling me, like, if it came down to it, he would be teetering it.
He-
like,
he's
if
had
the
the
moment
thoughts,
came,
yes.
yeah.
like he's like, yeah, would have to kill people I love or care about to, stay a god.
Yeah.
Think about that. He has this taste of what he thinks being a god is like, and he has completely transcended like human emotion. Like
Yeah.
he's like, I don't
I
care.
don't think
because
he had
I'm a
much
god
emotion
now.
beforehand.
If he did, it was like a droplet.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because he's like, well, let me start with criminals because other human lives.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's the trash alarm. Guys, they have to put up.
It's
For
like
that
birth
trash
control.
that you
I
get.
was like, that is important. I had to hear it.
Gotta reset it. Don't forget, your dad
No,
will be
I
mad.
won't.
You know what's so crazy too? Is I'm
Oh, no, you're not
sitting
going
here
home, yeah.
having a
He got pulled himself.
first a Death Note Part 1 conversation with you guys, and we're gonna come back to some of these topics and like expand upon them. I don't think a lot of your opinions will change, but like there's gonna be a lot more that you're gonna feel and think about
Mhm.
with even some things we've covered, and it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, my last thing I'll say about it is like, although I have, I would say, radical opinions on what I think consequences could be, I feel like it's my Sagittarius wanting to give justice to people. The issue is it feels like there's always power that can be abused.
Yeah, 100%.
So like if that power existed, I feel like it stresses me out more the fact that it can be abused than the right stuff that could happen from
Mhm.
it. You know, so it makes me mad because I wish I could live in my little Sagittarius world where that
And
wouldn't
that's a
happen.
really good point. Like I didn't think of it exactly like that, but you're right. If there was, that power for one person, even if they picked the best choices, like that power now exists and could be abused. And
Yeah, somebody could try to steal it. Like
there's no such thing
it's
as a
never
perfect
for
human.
sure. It's never for sure.
exactly. And what human would be able to make those choices?
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't exist. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys share a death note or write in it? I'm just kidding.
She said, "All right." It took me a second to recognize what she said.
Would you guys share Death Note with any of your
I think
fellow
I think
mates?
the question would be, would I continue watching it first to know if I'd want to share it?
That's a good point, yeah.
We
haven't finished it.
It's a lengthy show, but it goes by fast.
Yeah, bro. I've watched Supernatural. That's 12 seasons of 24 episodes. I would definitely continue watching Death Note, and I think that, like you said, how you watched it when you were crocheting, like I can see myself like watching it while I fold or paint or something. I liked it enough to keep watching. Plus, I love anything with mystery, and I'm like on the edge of my seat.
There are some shows.
Though
you're
the
not
episode
allowed to
you
do
made us
that
finish
too.
at did not give me enough edge of the seat momentum. Like if
How
I was
dare you leave us
if I was at
alone?
home binge watching Death Note right now, and I was like, I really need to get up and like live my life, and that episode came on, I'd be like, I guess I can get up and live my life now because I don't need to know what's about to happen right here, right now. I was pissed you threw the camera in the trash.
You guys had to see the potato chip episode. I will say that. Forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing that Mariah said. Until we finish it, then I'll tell you if I'd share it. But I do really like it. I will continue to watch it. I would never write in the Death Note. I don't feel like I could take somebody's life. And also, even if I felt compelled to maybe try, reading the fact that you wouldn't go to heaven or hell, and in this world, I guess heaven or hell exists, I'd be like, why the fuck would I play with that
I
shit?
think in this magical world where I don't have consequences like they do in the book.
He also.
I'm not done.
I'm sorry.
think that I'm talking to Kinsey. I think that I would be compelled to write it just out of curiosity, like
is
did.
is it real?
But I think the problem is that it's almost like when people murder, they get like this high off of it, and I think that's like scientifically proven. They get like a high out of taking someone's life. I think that Light probably, in theory, had the same feeling, like he took someone's life.
I could see
Also-
that.
And it's almost like an addiction. And I feel like even if I had no consequences to
I'm
me writing
scared,
in the
Mariah.
Death Note, I feel like you have a heart. Some people don't have self-control.
Yeah, if you didn't have consequences, I would totally want to see if it was real. And because I wouldn't be believing it that it was real, and then
Yeah.
I would do it, and then like you said, that would happen. Maybe I'd go crazy.
Yeah, it really depends.
Okay,
I would like to
let's say
think
this.
that my morals are
I'll
good
make it a
enough. I will
safe-
say that 100%. I think that I have morals that will prevent me from being a crazy person like Light. Yes.
Yeah, same.
To make it a more morally correct
I don't want people to think I'm a crazy
question,
psychology
let's say you
person.
pick up the Death Note and you see Ryuk. Let's say you pick it up and you know it's real because now you can see the
I'm gonna
shit.
go to
Okay,
do high
okay,
five.
now I know it's real. Okay, then I'm not doing
Oh
it.
yeah, no, then you wouldn't.
Exactly.
Did he
And that's
not
what-
see him before he wrote the name?
So he wasn't around. at
Yeah,
the point.
You're right.
Chose not to just, come and talk to him. He just
Yeah.
let him do it first.
Yeah, he did.
But he totally, in theory, would have been able to see him because he'd already touched it.
Yeah, so in this magical world, I would my morals wouldn't let me get out of control because I do think I have good morals, but
I'm scared.
But if
Mariah.
there's no consequences and if Ryuk didn't come up to me so I didn't know it was real yet, maybe I would have just checked it out. Just want to see if it's real.
Yeah, because the thing is like you might think it's a prank.
You know what he should have done for his book, for anybody that would pick it up, like Ryuk? Like, if he chose not to see them, which, in my opinion, I think whenever somebody would have picked up the Death Note, Ryuk should have just appeared so that they know
I
it's
think
real,
that should
right?
be. I think that should
But
be a rule.
in this life where he didn't do that, I think he should have said in the Death Note, like, you get one life to see
heaven
if
or
it's
hell.
real, because I'm sure you're reading this right now, you don't think it's real. And then after that one, if you do it again, you can't go to heaven or hell.
There's one more
Because I don't
consequence
think that's
to it,
really
too.
I don't
fair
want us
to
to
withhold
I don't want us to
information.
seem morally incorrect because we're not. We actually all three of us have really good morals.
I kinda
We're just
disagree
liars.
with it only because I'm like,
We're just liars. I'm just saying I don't think it was very fair of Ryuk to
Yeah.
not tell him that before he chose to see if it was real.
Yeah, I agree.
but there's
Right?
the side too where like the
She's saying that,
curiosity
like-
got to the best of him, and the fact that you even wanted to.
No,
yeah,
but-
she's saying his
but
morals
what I'm
should have been good
saying,
enough
though-
to not even test it.
But what I'm saying is that it didn't seem real though. Like if he knew the book was real from the get go and still chose to do it, then
But
I'd
I think
say
that
his
our
morals
morals
are
would
worse.
prevent it too. I feel like if I handed you something, Kinsey, and I said, if you write someone's name down or if you press this button, so and so is going to die, I don't think that you would consider it, but I don't think you would really press it, even if I directly told you.
I feel like if I had some sort of inclination that it could be real, then I wouldn't, because I'd be like, oh
Exactly.
my God,
and
Mariah,
that's
why are
what
you
we're
doing
saying.
that?
So
But
he, in this, I think in the same right, his morals might be a step below ours because he was
I
like,
guess
it's
so.
possible that's not real, but let me test it out anyways. I think that we wouldn't
Exactly.
even have tested it if we were in his shoes.
Also, remember, there's one more curse that comes with writing in the Death Note. Even one time, he said that you will experience the pain that only previous Death Note owners have experienced by writing in the book.
What is that pain?
If you pick it up and you decide not to write in it, you won't be cursed. But if you write in it, you're going to experience...
What's the pain?
curse?
Is it
What's
worse
the
than when
pain?
I wiped out in the bathroom?
I'm only going to say what Ryuk said in the first episode. You will experience a pain only known by the previous...
Yeah,
Death
well,
Note.
can you tell us what it is?
Maybe when we're not on the pod.
All right, guys, the biggest spoiler to the show.
It's
Just
the
say it now
biggest
and I'll cut
spoiler.
Is it is it a big spoiler?
It's just like you're not gonna have a happy life.
Well, yeah, he's obviously not having a happy life.
Oh, is
now.
that what the spoiler is? He's not going to have a happy life?
Maybe all like his life just kind of falls apart. Maybe he starts to feel like he's a god and everything just starts like coming
Like,
down.
Oh,
on
like
him.
self-sabotage. Maybe he
Yeah.
fucks
Okay.
all up.
Maybe like let's say you don't write in the Death Note, like you picked it up but you don't write in it. You get to live a happy life and raise your family. And
Well, obviously
get
he's not having a bad
promoted,
life.
and
Like
then,
these people are looking
and
for
then
him.
you die peacefully in your sleep when you're 90. Like that kind of shit. Like you have to live a normal life, but kind of like a karma thing. Like you're gonna go through some shit.
I mean, especially if he's doing this, he's like having to. He cannot now live a normal life. He is going to, for the rest of at least for the next years, be investigated, looked at. Like it's not possible for him to even be normal now.
Yeah.
In his shoes. So, damn. Well, Kinsey's episode is next week. Kinsey, what you making us watch? What you making us suffer through?
Suffer through.
Yeah, what is it?
We ain't going to suffer next week. We're going to watch Phantom of the Opera.
Painful. Just kidding.
I don't know. I think it's like the 2001 version, it said, or 2003.
Yeah, it is a specific one. I got you.
But it's the
Android
only
Floyd
one you should
Webber.
watch. And it's better than any musical version I've seen. I'm sure the other musicals have lovely voice actors and shit like that. But like, there's something that chemically changed me about this version of Phantom of the Opera that I cannot get the same serotonin from other singers.
Your sexual awakening.
It was my bisexual awakening. All right. And I think it's the perfect movie to watch during the first
holidays.
snows of the holidays.
It came out in 2005.
Damn, I wasn't even close. 2005.
And all you bitches who are currently saying, "Oh, why that version Gerard Butler sucks," you're a liar.
Fuck
Get your
off.
life in check.
I heard ever since I watched this damn movie. I think it was the first time I was watching the movie when I was allowed to, because there was a time I watched it right before when my mom didn't know. My mom was telling me, I was saying I love the Phantom's voice, and she said apparently he was not well received. A lot of people thought his voice wasn't good. He was an actor that had not sung before this movie, and I was like, they are idiots. And till this day, I still think they're fucking idiots, because that man has so much shit resonating in his voice.
The first time I watched this film was in
It's
band
amazing.
class in like 5th or 6th grade, and it like resonated in my soul forever. And then I remember 2 years later, my band teacher was like, "Yeah, what films you guys want to watch?" And I was like, "Hey, mister, 2 years ago you made us watch Phantom of the Opera, and I don't know which version it was that you made us watch, but I loved that movie so much. Can we please watch it?" And I was like, he showed it to us again, and he told me, like, he showed me the cover, he told me what year it came out, and I was like, I will remember that.
I watched it for the first
loved
time.
that film so much. And Kinsey saying it was her bisexual awakening. It was not mine, but let me tell you, if you think you're bisexual and you watch that film and you are attracted to Christine Daae and the Phantom, not Raoul, congrats.
Congrats, you are
That's so
bisexual.
funny. Man, I'm a late bloomer, not because I didn't realize it was amazing. My first impression of the show, just from a distance, I thought it was a murder mystery. I thought it was like...
I mean, that's
everybody-
what it is.
Yeah.
No, I
Phantom of
thought...
the Opera is
Here's
like-
what I visualize an opera house.
You know it's a
And
musical?
then almost like Clue, so people are getting killed off one by one, and you don't know who it is. That's what I thought it was.
Essentially, they didn't know who exactly was killing them. They just
Yeah.
knew it was
But I didn't know it was a
You didn't know it
romance
was a
at all.
legit bop of a soundtrack.
bop, romance,
Yeah.
and some murder.
In the movie,
It's a little
it's a
bit of
lot
everything.
less murder than I was imagining it was going to be.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I
but
think
I'm
some
not
of the
mad.
other Phantom stories have a lot more murder in it.
I'll tell you more of my first impressions of from actually watching it a year
Yeah.
ago next week.
Sounds good, man. If you guys can go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, rate, review, whatever it is you need to do, comment. We'd greatly appreciate it. I'm going to move that to a different spot in the podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So see you guys next week.
Beep boop bop.
Beep, boop, bop.